Good evening, everyone. This is Kenneth from Crunch Time Sports. Glad to be with you on week 10 of Talking SEC Football here on the Voice of College Football. And we got a lot of great games in action already. We're going to be getting everything kicking here in just a moment. Give me just one more second here. Let's get everything up and going. Hey, Hey guys, welcome into week 10 of Talking College Football, Talking SEC here on Mark Rogers TV. This is Kenneth from Crunch Time Sports Advantage. You can see how you can follow all of us here on social media. You can follow the show here at Mark Rogers TV, also the new channel here at Voice of College Football, Voice of CFB, and of course you can follow us on Twitter at CrunchTime VIP. Glad to be with you once again, and can't say thank you enough to Mark for allowing me to host this here on this fantastic channel. You are the best fans in all of college football, and it is my honor and privilege to be with you each and every single week. We got some great games going on live, so let's give you a quick live update of games that are in action right now, and then we'll touch on some of the earlier games. Jet, I promise you, we will be spending a lot of time talking about what's going on in Columbia, South Carolina right now. Okay, so just coming out of halftime, we're about 2 minutes into the third quarter. Alabama 20, LSU 7. At the half, Tennessee is up 24-21. South Carolina in a stunner over the University of Florida. South Carolina 23, Florida 10. We got about a minute left to go before the first half. Georgia with an impressive win against Missouri, dropping them to 4-5 on the season. Georgia moves to 9-0 in a game that, if you've got a chance to listen to our podcast on the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network, we talked about Texas A&M was going to be completely outclassing and outmanning this Auburn Tiger team. Texas A&M 20, Auburn 3. Hugh Freeze makes his long-awaited return to Oxford, Mississippi. Lane Kiffin and his team gets the win 27-14. A very sloppy game in the second half, no question about it, but Ole Miss did what they had to do to get the win in that ball game, going, moving their record now to 7-2. And Arkansas getting the win, but as we told everyone, Mississippi State would cover that 5.5. Absolutely did. Arkansas 31, Mississippi State 28. All right, so I'm going to just start with your first comment, and I'm going to just keep popping them up, man, until we get some more people in. Everybody who's watching, please feel free to join the chat. If you got a game or a team you want to talk about, let's get into it. As you guys can see, Jet is a huge Florida Gator fan, and we talked about this all week long on all the shows that each one of my team did interviews on, just how bad of a coaching job Dan Mullen is doing. You can see some of the comments here. And the fact that Dan Mullen just looks completely uninterested as the head coach. And I just saw where. Let me refresh here. Sorry about that, Jet. Okay, we're waiting on that to get uploaded here. I did see the comments by Rick Neuheisel there on the network. Wow. And Jet, I'll say this: McElwain did a better job than what Mullen is doing right now. So that's a bigger indictment on where this program is right now. And you and I talked about this on last week's show, where and we talked about it as them losing to Florida State, but wow, them losing in the manner that they're losing right now. You said it, my friend, talking about the pitchforks and torches. And guys, just to let you know what Jet was talking about, South Carolina just scored again. That score, new score, South Carolina 29, the Florida Gators 10. We still got under a minute left to go in the first half here. Alabama did come out looking sluggish. And before I say that, credit LSU for playing extremely hard on the defensive side of the ball in the first half. No question about that. But this game, as it stands right now, Alabama 20, LSU 7. LSU has no offense in this game whatsoever. That big play came off of a fake punt. So LSU can't get anything done on the ground. And absolutely. And Jet, that was something that I mentioned several weeks ago, talking to some Florida Gator fans. If you look at just the conference record, absolutely, McElwain has a better conference record than what Dan Mullen has. And the fact that Dan Mullen has 2 losses on his resume to the Kentucky Wildcats is a huge indictment, considering how many years in a row did Florida beat Kentucky, regardless of who the head coach was, regardless of how down Florida may have been at the time. They always found a way to beat Kentucky. And I think, not including tonight's results, Dan Mullen is 2-7 against his last 9 Power 5 opponents. One of those wins coming over Vanderbilt. Dan Mullen, head coach, University of Florida. Man, good night. Going to touch on, like I said, we'll be talking about this game all night long, especially if this score holds. Wow, this will be the talking point of the rest of the night for me here. Taking a look at that Auburn Texas A&M game, because that was for second place in the SEC West. Worst case scenario, both teams have an outside shot of still winning the SEC West, especially if Alabama slips up and loses. Texas A&M having the head-to-head tiebreaker, but already having 2 conference losses really hurts A&M's chances in the year that they finally beat Alabama at home. Okay, so Auburn, Ole Miss, and we talked about this game where Auburn versus Ole Miss and versus Oh no, here, and Jet, that's a fantastic question, and I was getting ready to touch on that. So thanks for posing the question. I'll get right to it here. Um, Bo Nix and this Auburn offense had the benefit of going up against basically the same defense 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks ago against Arkansas, last weekend against Ole Miss. It's a 3-3-5. It's a defense that does not bring a lot of pressure. Mike Elko, defensive coordinator for Texas A&M, I thought he was going to bring a lot of unique blitz packages. Saw that a lot. If you go back and listen to our podcast, we talked about them bringing what we call a phantom blitz. And what that is where you are going to show blitz from one side, but you're actually going to be bringing that pressure from another side. Bo Nix absolutely could not afford to turn the ball over in this ball game. 2 big-time turnovers in this ball game. That was the difference in this game. If you watch this game, first of all, I'm sorry, because this was one of the ugliest games I've seen in a long time. Neither team could get anything done on third down. Neither passing game looked like it had any clue of what it was doing, and the turnover was the difference in this ball game. So credit Jimbo, credit Mike Elko, his defensive coordinator, but this was not a shocking result to me whatsoever. We talked about on our podcast that this Auburn defense had been on the field a lot, especially going up against opposing teams' running attack here over the last 2 weeks. So Arkansas had, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my notes here. Okay, so Arkansas versus this Auburn defense had 54 carries for 232 yards. Last weekend, Ole Miss had 46 carries, 207 yards. And today, Texas A&M had 35 carries, 217 yards. So the blueprint was already there for Texas A&M to beat Auburn. I got to tell you, that is a comment that I'm starting to hear a little bit from some Gator fans here. So, guys, if you want Dan Mullen out, the only thing that's going to generate that is fans stop going to the games. I'll be honest with you. Nothing gets a athletic department attention like not seeing crowded stands. Hey, Jet, thanks for asking. No, I did not. I'm going to postpone that surgery until after the college basketball season. So I'm going to have a couple of surgeries to repair a broken bone in my jaw here. So, guys, sorry for some of the struggles with being able to talk clearly, but I made a commitment to do this show the entire season, and as long as I'm able to stabilize the jaw during the show, I'm definitely going to be here each and every week. So that's what living up to your commitment is all about. So, Jet, thanks for asking. But yeah, I'll be delaying that surgery until after phase one will be right after the college football season, and the second one will be right after March Madness. Taking a look at that total offense in the first half. So here are the stats for that South Carolina-Florida first half. Total offense, Florida Gators, 193 yards. Guys, only 18 yards rushing on 10 carries. South Carolina has 316 yards total. They almost have as many yards rushing, 147, as Florida has in total offense. This is unacceptable. And I know the critique on on Todd Grantham. He deserves every bit of that criticism. But this offense, for a supposedly quarterback whisperer, I mean, this is just flat out embarrassing for a program like the University of Florida. Jet, I will absolutely tell you that hearing from a good friend of mine who covers the Gamecocks sent me that in a text message on Wednesday. And what can we say? I mean, this is just absolutely horrible. Okay, so we have LSU now inside of the Alabama red zone, looking to draw a little bit closer here in this ball game. Okay, flag on the play. We're going to see if that's on Alabama. Well, bring it back. Holding on LSU. So that big play negated. New score, we have a touchdown by Kentucky. Kentucky now up 28-24. And here's the scary thing, Jeff, and this is for every Florida fan that's going to watch this, whether it's live or on replay. LSU looks better coached right now than the Florida Gators. Wow. Did not think I would say that the rest of this year. I mean, especially with the cheerleader in charge being fired in Ed Orgeron. We'll touch on that Arkansas, Mississippi State here. I want to see if LSU is able to get into the end zone here. Okay, horse collar tackle by Jordan Battle. It looks like that's going to be a personal foul. I'm going to move LSU inside of the Alabama 10-yard line. Oh, it was face mask. I'm sorry. Same thing, whether it was a face mask or horse collar, it was going to be a personal foul. Wow. Jet, that's interesting. I got to be honest with you. That is very interesting because there is some serious questions that need to be answered. And okay, so LSU goes in, scores a touchdown, and then shows why they are poorly coached once again. This team is acting like, wow, you know what? You score a touchdown and then you go and start doing the to the fans in Tuscaloosa. LSU, you are a 500 team and you're still acting like you got some kind of old Miami Hurricane swagger. You don't. You're a 500 program for the past 2 years, and you want to act like you're on the verge of winning a national championship. This program is a joke right now. I mean, just an absolute joke. I asked that question about Dan Mullen last week after watching the end of the first half. So, Jeff, not you guys watch Florida a different way than what I do. Let me ask you guys this, and any Florida fan that's listening, definitely want to get your feedback. Did Dan Mullen really want to play Anthony Richardson last week? Because he coached like he was trying to prove a point that Emory Jones was his quarterback, and it was like Dan was pressured to start Anthony Richardson, and he coached that game more so to prove that he was right, saying that Anthony Richardson wasn't ready. I mean, what do you guys think? Because that score was 3-0 with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half last week against Georgia. And it's like something clicked in Dan's mind. That's exactly where I'm going with that, Jet. And I'm going to pop up your first comment here. And Jet, it wasn't just that pick six, it was the INT right before that, where all you want to do in a 10-0 ball game is get the game to the second half. Dan made sure that game did not get to the second half. Hey guys, we also got a new score there in Lexington. Tennessee just took the lead 31-28. So I thought Dan Mullen was always overrated as a head coach. People talk about the great job that he did at Mississippi State. Well, guys, going 8-4 at Mississippi State gets a statue built. Going 8-4 at a program like the University of Florida gets you fired. Let's be honest. Florida, since Steve Spurrier arrived and built that program up to the standards that you guys now hold every coach to, Dan Mullen is not Steve Spurrier. And he can talk about trying to get the band back together again. Man, look, this is horrible. All right, guys, give me just one moment here. Let me get the camera repositioned here. I'll be right back with you. Exactly right, Jeff. And this class that is now juniors and seniors for um, Florida, this is all his recruits. So we're starting to see that lack of being able to recruit really start to hit home. And guys, I'm a hit on this Alabama game real quick. Any Alabama fans that are going to watch this now or later don't have to worry about Alabama going to the national championship or the college football playoffs. This offensive line in Tuscaloosa right now is absolutely horrible. But was he doing okay with other other the former coaches recruits? It is my question. Because we know Dan Mullen is not an elite recruiter. And now really starting to wonder, is he even a quality head coach at this point? Okay, Alabama basically punched the ball back to LSU, only up 6 in this ball game, and we got 22 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Wow, this game is really moving quickly. Oh yeah, they're just showing the scoop and score there by South Carolina. Hey, that is an interesting question. So we're talking coordinator at the college level, because Dan Mullen is not going to get a sniff at the NFL level. I don't even think for a coordinator spot. Let's just say Dan Mullen does not have a lot of support to where if he leaves Florida, it's not going to be for another elite job. It's going to be more of a lower tier Power 5 or even a group of 5 job. Dan Mullen coached. Hmm. Well, and let's not forget this offense outside of a couple of games here and there has not been impressive. And Jeff, you know what? We can talk about that. So Dan Mullen um, got a basically a Zoom interview with the New York Jets. I can tell you from a really good source, um, Dan Mullen was never a serious candidate for any NFL opening job last year. Mm, I don't think I could see Dan Mullen at a place like Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has a lot of high standards as far as their head coaching job. So, hey, Jet, I'll pop that up here in just a second. Um, you are absolutely right. Um, that interview went horribly, horribly wrong. And without giving away exactly what I was told, but let's just say there were a couple of people in that front office that literally started laughing after they got done because of how bad the interview went. All right, we got kickoff here in the second half of that South Carolina Florida game. Tennessee just went up by 10, 38-28 over Kentucky. So, and Florida fans, please, all of you guys chime in on this. What if Tennessee has it right at the head coaching spot with Josh Heupel? You're already getting beat by Georgia. You've lost 2 out of the last 3, I think, to Kentucky. Man, what if Tennessee's got it right at the head coach with Josh Heupel? How bad could this thing go for Dan Mullen and the University of Florida if you're the 4th best team in the SEC East? That's got to be a scary proposition. Man, if Tennessee's got this right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It could be. And oh, by the way, what if Shane Beamer gets it right at South Carolina? Because right now, his team has put up a 30 spot against Florida right now. I mean, I don't want to paint a doomsday scenario for Florida fans. But this could get ugly. Well, you've lost 2 out of the last 3 to Kentucky. So I don't know if I can say you're a better team right now. I mean, I look, I completely get what you're saying. Florida should be better. But this roster's got to get built up because besides Kara Elam, I can't think of one player on this roster that's going to be a first round pick next year. Kara Elam at cornerback is the only Florida Gator that I can think of that has a legitimate chance of being drafted in the first round next year. Oh my goodness. You can't, no. No. Please tell me you're joking. They cannot give Dan Mullen an extension if he gets rid of the assistants. Oh no. No. I'm gonna tell you guys, this Alabama LSU game is absolutely ugly to watch. I mean, Alabama can forget about their chances of winning the SEC championship game and making the playoffs if this is how they're going to play. This offensive line for Alabama is not very good. Not good at all. Man, for you Gator fans, I hope that's right because this thing is off the rails. Wow. That would be bad. I mean, man, that would be bad. Dan Mullen getting an extension? Wow. Man, I should have went in. I should have stayed in coaching. Wow. Florida Gators. And guys, if you're watching this Florida South Carolina game, out of the half, the play calling, Dan Mullen has no interest in winning this game. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Dan Mullen has no interest in winning this game. This is just bad. Wow. Wow. Oh, hey, I wanted to touch on this Ole Miss Liberty game here. Okay. Before I do, let me go ahead and get that question here. Jet, to be honest with you, I'll say I cannot speak to anything about that situation in Georgia. I do not follow any of the NIL deals whatsoever. But and I want to be very careful how I say this. For that player at Georgia, I hope it's not true. And if this is a false allegation, that person will be prosecuted to whatever the state laws are there in Georgia. But if this is true, whatever penalties he get, man. I mean, whatever penalties he get. But I don't. Just to answer your question, I don't follow NIL deals whatsoever, so I don't know who got what besides some of the commercials I've seen on television. But as far as what those deals are, I could not speak to. Liberty versus Ole Miss. I want to touch on this game just a little bit here. And Liberty, Malik Willis had a really bad game. Malik Willis in that game against Ole Miss, 16 for 25, 173 yards, no touchdowns, 3 INTs. Matt Corral, Bounce back performance by that young man. 20 for 27, 324 yards, one touchdown, no INTs. Um, I know that that was a big game. Talking to a lot of my friends that cover Ole Miss, how they definitely wanted to beat um, their former head coach in Hugh Freeze. Um, good win for Ole Miss there. They're now 7-2, 5-0 at home. Fantastic job there, and good to see. Um, good to see Ole Miss get a good win for them. Hey, Colton, welcome in, my friend. Definitely glad to have you on. Um, Salty Dog, glad to have you on as well. Yo, like I said, because of the nature of the offense, um, I've stayed away from that, and I just want to see how that plays out. So, uh, guys, you'll see all of this in the chat. I'm not going to put them up on the screen, but thank you, Salty Dog, for joining in. Colton, you as well. Um, Guys, South Carolina's got the ball inside the Florida 30-yard line. You got to think a score here, and it's good night. It's good night, Florida. Kentucky just drew closer here. We got a new score with about a minute and a half left to go in this third quarter. Tennessee 38, Kentucky 35. LSU just picked up a first down. They have the ball on their own 32-yard line. Just picked up a big first down. Yeah, Jet, I'm flipping over and watching that live right now. Um, Second and 11. Oh, I'm sorry, second and 10 at the Florida 14. Excellent, excellent throwaway there. That's exactly what you want to do there. Hey, Caden, great point by Jet earlier. With Mullins' buyout being what it is, I don't think it would do Florida any good to fire him right now. Hey, Jet, I said that. No, Salty Dog. Hey, this is a place where I definitely want to hear everybody's opinion about your team and what you're seeing because you guys, you guys are why we do the show. So, any of your thoughts or any of your questions, I will gladly address them as long as I can. So definitely, Jet, to answer your question or to talk about your comment. No, I do not see this version of the Alabama team being able to do much of anything against that team because of how bad the Alabama offensive line is right now. Yeah, that was the so Caden, those were the comments that I was talking about from Jet earlier. Like I said, guys, whatever team you want to talk about tonight, let's talk about it. Salty Dog, I'm gonna see if I can't draw you in here just a little bit. Georgia fan, what are you thinking about your quarterback situation? Love to hear your comments, or love to see your comments in the chat. 39-yard field goal is good by South Carolina. New score with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. South Carolina 33, Florida 10. Now, we'll say this about this Alabama team. They're coached by the greatest college football coach in the history of this game. And they're going to need to okay, we just got a big run there by LSU. Uh, guys, we got a development in this LSU Alabama game. First and goal at the Alabama 8. LSU 8.5 minutes left to go. We got an injury timeout, so we'll come back to that one as soon as they come out of this commercial break here. But Alabama's got a lot of work to do, and if they lose tonight, Texas A&M is in the driver's seat to go to the SEC championship game and not Alabama. Keep that in mind. And we got to remember, JT is still nursing that oblique injury, and they are literally trying to nurse that thing along as much as they can. But at some point, you got to find out if he can go. And you need to do that before the SEC championship game. So, no matter who Georgia plays over the next couple of weeks at the quarterback spot, they're going to win. So, you got to let JT Daniels go in there and let it rip. And if he's not healthy, he's not going to be much use to you in the postseason anyway. Jet, they are using a lot of that same run game. Not only that LSU that A&M used, but a lot of the same principles that Florida used early on in the season. It is a lot of cutback, old Denver Bronco offense where it's one it's one cut, and then you're looking for that cutback alley and get some positive yards. So poor job by Alabama adjusting to that, and good job by the LSU offensive coordinator to try to use that. Okay, we're still in that timeout here, so we're just flipping through, kind of like you folks are in front of your screens. And thank you once again for everybody that's tuned in. Jed, as always, Salty Dog, Caden, everybody, glad to have you on. And Jet, to take your comment one step further, they're not going to be playing Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Arkansas in the college football playoffs. You're going to likely face a high-powered offense that you're going to have to worry about giving up more than just 5 to 8 points per game. Okay. That's an interesting comment there. I thought it was a curious hire. I'll say that. Big first down there by Kentucky as they just crossed midfield. We are out of that timeout. Um, it is 3rd and goal from the Alabama 8-yard line. I mean, this is the ball game here. This has got to be 2-down territory for LSU. At the 8-yard line. All right, we got trips left. Ed Orgeron takes a timeout because that play was just going to be dead on arrival. That is true there. I will say, Jet, that's very true. Guys, can you believe this? This South Carolina defense has not been really good. We are halfway through the 3rd quarter. And Florida has 10 points. I get it. The defense has played bad. Now, 7 of those points that the defense is not responsible for, but the Florida Gators have 10 points in this ball game. Wow. Florida cannot run the ball at all. Man. Gator fans, I thought this game would be close, but I thought Florida would win. 23-point deficit halfway through the 3rd quarter, and your offense looks like it is not even remotely interested in this contest whatsoever. Wow. Okay. South Carolina has the ball back inside the Florida Gator red zone. Guys, we're getting into country butt whooping time now. I'm absolutely speechless watching this ball game right now. I would definitely post that. Any kind of score here in this game is over, but a touchdown and I mean, did anybody see this coming? Jet, Colton, if you're still on with me, were you guys worried about losing this game to South Carolina? I guess that's what I want to know from my Florida fans that are on the chat right now. Because right now, South Carolina is just lining it up and just punching right in the mouth. Oh, were you? Okay. Jeff, yeah, please let me know a little bit more why you were worried about word about this outcome because I thought South Carolina could keep it close. I didn't see I didn't see this at all. And that's saying something, Jet, because Florida State does not look like a good program either. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Hey, Jet, I didn't get to see that entire article. But that comment about losing the locker room, I have heard that from multiple sources down there in Gainesville. Touchdown, South Carolina. This is just country butt whooping. 40 burger by South Carolina. Oh my goodness. This is okay. So we got a what looked like a fumble. They're calling it correctly so on LSU. That is an incomplete pass. For what is Ed Orgeron doing? Looking like a buffoon. Thank you. I'll be glad to send it. Matter of fact, I'll put my email address in here, and if they're able to send that, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, Alabama hosts LSU on that 4th and goal. Turnover on downs here. Alabama gets the ball back, and any kind of sustained drive by the Alabama Crimson Tide, and they're going to get out of Tuscaloosa with a closer than expected win here. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Alabama has to get something on this drive to keep that clock moving. Mm-hmm. That's a good point, Salty Dog. Like I said, glad to have you on the show here tonight. Guys, we're going to do a quick reset here at the top of the hour like we do each and every week. We are in hour 2. I have you for the next 58 minutes. So let's hit the reset real quickly. All right, welcome back in. This is Kenneth from Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network. Pleased to be joining you each and every week here on the Voice of College Football, talking SEC. Big first down by the University of Alabama to get the ball out to the 20-yard line, but more importantly, 3 more downs, keeping that clock moving here. Guys, we have a fantastic game going on in Lexington, Kentucky right now. University of Tennessee inside the Kentucky 10-yard line, looking to stretch out that 38-35 lead. We got a close game here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as LSU 14, Alabama 20. LSU unable to convert a 4th and goal. Alabama has the ball driving and, more importantly, draining that clock. We got about 6 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter in that ball game. We had, and we're not going to bury the lead here, Arkansas, fantastic win by Sam Pittman there over Mike Leach. Mississippi State missed a timed field goal there at the buzzer that would have sent this game into overtime. Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher, big time win there at home in College Station, basically shutting down that Auburn offense 20-3. Excellent job there by defensive coordinator Mike Elko in this ball game. I think he should be on somebody's short list to be their next head coach, because this guy can absolutely get it done on the defensive side of the ball. Ole Miss gets some long-awaited 5-year revenge on former head coach Hugh Freeze as Ole Miss beats the Liberty Flames 27-14 there in Oxford. And guys, in the stunner of the night, with 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter, the South Carolina Gamecocks are taking the Florida Gators behind the woodshed and leaving nothing but bodies back there. 40-10, 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Okay, absolutely. I understood what you meant. Jet, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Mullen's buyout. If you have it, great. If not, I will gladly look it up here really quickly. Tennessee did go in for the new score in that ball game. Tennessee 45, Kentucky 35. Okay, and Jet, I'm pulling it up right now. And guys, I know this makes for strange trying to read this, but I want to make sure I'm factually correct here. Okay, so here's Dan Mullen's deal. Jet, you're absolutely right. It is a $12 million buyout. Dan Mullen would receive $6 million within the first 30 days, and the rest in monthly installments over the next 6 years. So you can do the math on that. But basically, 30 days after they fired Dan Mullen, they would have to write him a check for $6 million. Wow. Man, is it good to be hired by a friend? And Bryce Young, son, you got to learn how to slide, man. That's a big time. That's a big time hit. Don't need to be playing hero and taking those hits, man. Slide, son. Mm, wow, interesting. Okay, so let's give you the updates from all of the earlier action here. Arkansas was able to get a win at home over Mississippi State, 31-28. Texas A&M, as we said, 20-3 over the Auburn Tigers. Texas A&M is in the driver's seat for the second spot, and if LSU is able to get a win, um, I'm sorry, if LSU beats Alabama, or if for some reason Alabama should slip up against either Arkansas or Auburn here at the end of the year, Texas A&M would be the representative out of the West going to the SEC championship game, ending Alabama's hopes of being a playoff contender. We talked about Ole Miss getting that win over Liberty. Alabama just crossed over midfield. We got 3rd and 5 at the LSU 46. So even if Alabama doesn't score here, able to salt away some of that clock. If you're Alabama, you definitely want to get within field goal range to make this a 2-score ball game. Hey, Caden, I won't post that, but I'll comment on that. Now, that site, and I respect a lot of what that site does. I won't mention them. You'll see it. You'll see who I'm talking about in the chat. He has no idea what the heck he's talking about. Let me just say that. Because there's not a person that does what we do, and I'm talking about us at my network, or any serious analyst who thought Dan Mullen would be in the NFL last year. We knew how bad of an interviewee he was, and that no NFL team was going to take a chance at hiring Dan Mullen last year. So for that guy and that network to come out with that narrative, it's a load of crock. Can I say that? It's a load of crock. Jet, I'll say there's not a NFL team with a head coach vacancy that's going to be coming up here. Okay, Alabama just got stripped. LSU has the ball. Okay, so Alabama doesn't even get a punt out of this. LSU ball at the Alabama 40. Bryce Young just gets stripped. We talked about how bad this offensive line has been for the University of Alabama all year long, and I don't know what the left tackle. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know what the right tackle was doing on that play. Um, Great job there by Roy, but um, no, that was just bad play call. Kentucky refusing to go down, just scored. Guys, we got a Big 12 game going on in Lexington. Tennessee 45, Kentucky 42. By the way, Florida just scored. That new score is 40-17 now. And Caden, I get your comment, but that doesn't explain why Dan Mullen is so bad this year. And that's why I said that network and that person that continuously puts that out makes no sense. Yeah, Julian, that's an interesting thought. But so Caden, that comment's not direct directed at you. It's like I said, that network and that person saying that Dan lost focus. Well, how in the heck he lost focus when he know that he didn't have a job or wasn't going to get a job 6 months ago? It's because that person and that network was much higher on Dan Mullen and the Florida Gators this year. And now it's called covering your backside. Look, we make a lot of picks in this business. We make a lot of predictions, especially um, as far as how we see teams and how they're going to finish. Some of them we get right, some of them we get wrong. What that person at that network should do is just admit that he was wrong on the Florida Gators this year. That's a very good point, Jet. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up. Okay, so full disclosure, me and my team at our network, we had Kentucky finishing second. We had Florida finishing third. We thought Tennessee would be sixth in the SEC East this year. Tennessee has looked a lot better than we thought they were going to look. So that's one we got wrong as a company. We have no problem. We have no problem saying that. So another turnover on downs by LSU as Alabama sent the house. Alabama can basically take it, can almost kill the clock at this point. It looks like first team to 60 in this Tennessee Kentucky game is going to win it. Like I said, Alabama can't take a knee, but they can basically run out the clock here. Will Anderson, what a night. 12 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, credited with 1.5 sacks. A sophomore. Wow. Mm. So interesting about the Florida Gators and where they go, because this has been a talking point all night, and rightfully so, because like I said, I could not have done a game script where South Carolina basically beats Florida by 3 touchdowns. Glad to have you back there. So let's take a look at the Florida schedule for the last couple of games here, because this loss opens up a lot. Okay, so next week at home versus Sanford, group of 5 school from Birmingham, Alabama. Then a trip to Columbia, Missouri. And Jet, you talked about this last week, how Gators don't play well in cold weather. And this game is going to be a lot colder than some of the games that you guys have played against Kentucky there on the road in Lexington. So interesting to see how that plays out. And then, of course, the season finale with Florida State. And they're just showing the updated college football top 10. And we're going to see some changes in that coming up. As long as this score holds, the top 2 slots will not change, as Alabama will be number 2. Georgia will be clearly number 1. Oh, certainly. Certainly they're 5th right now. Okay, so Alabama wasn't able to completely run out the clock. There's going to be about 58 seconds left to go when they punt this ball here back to LSU. Now, Salty Dog, I will say this: we had LSU 4th. So we had our top 4 was Alabama, A&M, Ole Miss, LSU. And looks like we're going to probably have the top 3 spots right. Auburn, Mississippi State, Arkansas, LSU will finish in some combination at the bottom. But Jet, I think you put this up earlier about Alabama looking sluggish. I don't know if it's sluggish, but I will say they looked out of sync. So Definitely agree with that. Alabama's able to get that punt away. Um, LSU's going to have the ball on their 37-yard line, it looks like. And Salty Dog, we had Missouri fourth as well. Um, did not see them taking a bigger step back, but we did not think that they were ready to be any higher than that. Sacked by Alabama. They're going to say he was down. Clock's going to continue to run here. Oh, Colton, put me on the spot here. Do I think? Absolutely not. Dan Mullen and humility do not go together in the same sentence whatsoever. Dan Mullen wants Emory Jones to be his quarterback, so Emory Jones is going to play next week against an inferior opponent and is going to look really good doing so. Jet, I'm glad you mentioned that because literally 2 minutes ago, somebody sent me a text message with that very same comment. We're not going to probably get it tonight because that game won't be final by the time we go out the air. But I would guarantee you that is a press conference I cannot wait to watch. Okay, so LSU with 1 or 2 plays left to go, ball at the Alabama 40. We got about Alabama 45. We got about 9 seconds left to go in this ball game. So basically, 2 Hail Mary shots here for LSU to win this ball game. Okay, a little quick out to get this ball a little bit closer. So LSU's got a chance to win this. LSU has the ball at the Alabama 30-yard line. This will be a Hail Mary attempt. Interested to see how Alabama plays this. Do they let Johnson run around or do they send some blitz after him? Holding on LSU, so this ball game's over. And ball game is over. Alabama holds on to a 20-14 win. Not a game that Alabama fans are going to be happy with, but a win is a win, and sometimes you just got to get a win and get out of there. Ed Orgeron, as his last time as the LSU head coach going into Tuscaloosa, walks away with a loss. Tennessee did not take the field goal, did not get the conversion. Kentucky has the ball 42 down 42-45 here. Mm-hmm. So very ugly game there in Tuscaloosa from a execution standpoint. Going to give Nick Saban a lot of things to work on here coming up next week. Nice throw there by Will Levis, moving this ball out, getting closer towards midfield. We got about a little under 4 minutes left to go in this Tennessee Kentucky game. Kentucky is down by 3 with the ball at their own 33 yard line. Wan'Dale Robinson picks up about 9 yards on that first down. So getting closer to midfield here. And this guy's just fun to watch. I mean, just fun to watch. Reminds me a lot of Steve Smith Sr. for the Carolina Panthers. Just a tough, gritty player. Really like Wan'Dale Robinson. 13 catches, 166, and a touchdown. Man, this kid is fun to watch. Florida has the ball back. About 9 minutes left to go in that ball game. Score still South Carolina 40, Florida 17. And Will Levis is actually a pretty good quarterback when he's not turning the ball over. Oh man, Florida fans, I don't even remotely know what to tell you. I honestly don't know what to tell you at this point. This offense looks lost. Okay, guys, give me just a second to refresh here. Sorry about that, guys. Had a Oh no, sorry about that, Jet. Let me do that here. Sorry about that, Jet. I was actually trying to get rid of this pop up and hit you by mistake. Sorry about that. Let me get you back in here. Like I said, Jet, I apologize for that. I was trying to get rid of that block up here and not letting me I'll have to wait for that to clear back out. So, Jet, I do apologize for that. I was trying to get rid of that block up and actually hit your link by mistake. But no, Emory Jones is going to be the quarterback as long as Dan Mullen is going to be as stubborn as he is. And guys, being a great head coach, you're going to be stubborn, but there's a time and place to be stubborn, and you need to do something with that quarterback position. Okay, let's get that out of here. Sorry about that, guys. We got a error here, and I am trying to block this person from popping up these horrible messages, but hopefully I'll be able to get Jet back here in just a moment. Guys, bear with me just one moment here while I refresh this here. Okay, Jet, sorry about that. Like I said, glad to have you back in here. But this is a huge okay, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Like I said, trying to get some of these issues corrected here. So it has been a very interesting night, to say the least, with the live stream here. So, guys, do apologize for that once again. Colton, to get to your question here. I don't think so. Emory is a part of the problem. He's not the only problem. Anthony Richardson is not this great quarterback. Let me say that. Anthony Richardson gives you a couple of splash plays, but as far as playing the quarterback position, Anthony Richardson should not have seen the field this year. He has no pocket awareness. And because he's made a few highlight plays, has Florida fans thinking he's a lot better than what he is. And like I said, Jet, once again, I do apologize for that. I was trying to get rid of that block out. So please know that never my intent to block you out, my friend. Like I said, love having you be a part of the show, and just really unfortunate we're starting to get a lot of these ridiculous pop-ups here whenever we're doing the live stream here. But glad to have you back in, my friend. Okay, Jet, I'll get to that here in just a second. Now, Colton, that Man, I hope for Florida fans that's not the case. Really hope that's not the case. The Ed Orgeron situation at LSU is a lot different than what you guys have. Ed Orgeron has already been fired and basically just coaching out the rest of the year. Dan Mullen is still under contract for several years. And this is just bad. Hey Jay, welcome in. I think I don't know if this is your first time logging in, but if so, welcome aboard, and definitely want to get your comments up here. And now, South Carolina is just running over this LSU defense. I'm sorry, this Florida defense with no mercy at this point. Richardson is too new to say he's a true starter. Absolutely. And like I said, given Dan Mullen unwillingness to give him more of an opportunity, it's head scratching to say the least. Okay. Something to keep an eye out on, but we just talked about it earlier here. Dan Mullen is owed $12 million. $6 million of that would have to be paid out within the first 30 days if he was terminated. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Now, Jay, got to say, this point that you make is so important, and it's one that I highlighted. Emory has been in the system for a couple of years now. The fact that Anthony Richardson is struggling, I can live with that. The fact that Emory doesn't look any better than Anthony Richardson, it is a huge development problem. And for as much as there are some people who want to say that Dan Mullen is a quarterback whisperer, the fact that Emory has not progressed enough as a quarterback is very concerning. Jay, thank you for logging in. Hopefully you'll be with us the rest of the season, and definitely love having you on. Colton, there's a lot of pride in that program. Okay. Full disclosure, one of my younger sisters is a Florida grad. There's a lot of pride in that program. This absolutely hurts a lot of former Gators. I happen to know several Gators. And this is hard. This is hard to take. Hard to take, no question about it. And Jay, Colton, you guys remind me, but wasn't Emory Jones Dan Mullen's first big quarterback recruit there at Florida? Wasn't he supposed to be the guy? Now you may be more in tune to this than I am, but I think the fact that I thought we saw Dak take a step forward with Dan. Now, it may have been his junior year, but I think the difference is Emory's been in the system since he got there. Emory Jones should be much further along as a passer than what he is. And that's the scary part. I'm gonna see if I can't pull up Emory's numbers on the season, not including tonight here. Let's see, Emory. Okay, so Emory's completing now. We got a lot of fluff in these numbers because Emory Jones is not a 68% completion percentage. So those two early scrimmages probably puffed up his numbers a lot. So I promise you guys, next week I'll have a more detailed breakdown of Emory Jones' true numbers, especially in conference play. But there's no way Emory Jones is completing 68% of his passes in the conference games that he's played in. I just refuse to buy that. And it looks like Kentucky is going to lose this ball game, dropping another game here as Tennessee goes up to Lexington and wins 45 to 42. And looks like the clock is going to run out here on the Florida Gators. We got about a minute and a half left to go in this ball game. Score is not in doubt whatsoever. That's what I was hearing. Absolutely. Jet, thank you for posting that. I do remember that. Um, so um, Colton, what you would like to see? Oh, let me rephrase that. If I was a Gator fan, what I would want to hear from Dan Mullen is it's not Todd Grantham's fault. It's not Emory Jones or Anthony Richardson. I, as the head coach of the University of Florida, have to be better at my job. And whatever the Gator program needs me to do as the head coach, I need to do that. Whether it's recruit better, whether it's hire better assistants, whether it's develop better game plans, whatever I need to do to get the Florida game plan back on track, I need to do that. There's no chance that Dan Mullen walks away without. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. And the fact that he has the audacity to be so arrogant is what really bothers him. Okay, so Jay, here's what I'll say. If he and I don't dispute what you're saying whatsoever, but if you're not an elite recruiter, go hire elite recruiters. So go hire a young high school head coach there in the state of Florida that can help you with recruiting. And you guys know this as well as anybody. There is plenty of talent in the state of Florida. So if he takes that accountability to where it's not the, hey, I'm the smartest kid in the room and for any fan to question what I'm doing is completely misguided. Florida fans, SEC fans, are intelligent when it comes to their football teams. And you can't sell them a bunch of you know what and expect them to continue to believe that. Step up to the microphone tonight. Take full accountability of what's going on with your program. Take ownership in it, because you just went to South Carolina as a double-digit favorite and got boat raced. That ain't all on Todd Grantham. Now, like I said, guys, trust me, I am no Todd Grantham fan whatsoever. But at some point, Dan Mullen is the one getting that monster paycheck. He needs to go earn it. He needs to go earn it. And Colton, it's always the dog ate my homework. You know, it's one of those excuses. My computer crashed. Hey, Surfer, I'm going to put this up real quick because I know you're a dog fan and I didn't want to just skip over you. So I'll let you get that in there. No question about it. But Surfer Boy is on fire with some of those comments. And Jet, they literally just popped that stat up. The most points ever scored by a South Carolina team against the University of Florida. Wow. Just wow. And Jay, here's the here is the really scary part about that. You could still lose 2 out of the last 3. That Missouri game isn't a guarantee. Well, Surfer Boy, it wasn't so much the dogs ate his homework last week as he balled it up and just absolutely fed it to you. Oh, wow, man, that's going to be rough. Oh, Conan, let me get you back up here. And you didn't just lose this ball game. This ball game was never in doubt once we got to the second quarter. I mean, the halftime score is 30-10. Nobody had confidence that this was coming back. Yeah, Jeff. I hear you, man. I hear you. This is gonna be a rough night for Gator fans. Rough night. I mean, really, really rough night. And I don't know what Dan does from this point on. But man, good evening. I got some of my SEC guys getting ready to go on here in just a minute on television. Interested to see what my guy Chris Doran has to say. You guys that are Gator fans, Chris Doran bleeds Gator, and I'm going to be really interested in his comments later tonight. Really interested. Surfer. I think I think, man, this gonna be a tough night in Gainesville. I mean, tough. There gonna be there gonna be some serious questions going on there in Gainesville. Serious questions. And honestly, I don't. I really don't know where to start. Okay, so Gator fans, I got you. Well, everybody, I got you for another 5 minutes. No need to run through the scores like we normally do. But Alabama gets a much needed win versus LSU at home, 20-14. Alabama did not look great in this ball game, especially that offensive line. Got a lot of work to do before they face Auburn in the Iron Bowl here in about a month. Tennessee statement win against Kentucky, going to pushing their record to 5-4. Josh Heupel, Tennessee head coach, should be the SEC coach of the year. Should be the SEC coach of the year. We've been talking about it all night. South Carolina absolutely boat racing Florida 40-17. Emory Jones, 17 for 30, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kevin Harris, fantastic running back there for South Carolina, 16 carries, 128 yards. Texas A&M keeps their SEC West hopes alive with a big-time win over the Auburn Tigers, 20-3. Bo Nix turned back into a pumpkin this afternoon. That's interesting, Jep. That is interesting. We'll see if Alabama is able to keep up their end of the bargain here and win out and set up that matchup with the Georgia Bulldogs here. Jay, fantastic question here, and I know I only got you guys for a couple more minutes. We can definitely talk about this more next week, but that's gonna be interesting. I got you. I got you. Well, let's hope we get that ball game. Good evening to you as well, Jay. Definitely, please come back next weekend. Next week, we start at 8 o'clock sharp Central Time. Sorry about some of the technical issues that we had, but it has been that is a fact there. Definitely going to be a game if we get it. Alabama, Georgia for the SEC championship game. Alabama has to hold up their end of the ball there because we know we know that this is going to have to be something that Alabama just can't assume that they're going to win out. They have to put some things in place with that offensive line if they want to get to that game against Georgia, and certainly if they have any hopes of winning that ball game. Jet, that is the second time we've talked about that this week. I'm sorry, in the past couple of weeks, and that is getting a lot of Florida Gator fans and especially a lot of proud alums really ticked off there. A lot of pride in that alma mater there, and the fact that Dan is not respecting that is probably upsetting Gator fans more than what they're seeing on the field. That's something that has got to get addressed with Dan Mullen from the administration real quick. Hey, Jet, thank you for the comment. Like I said, it is my honor and privilege to represent my team here at the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network, and certainly Mark Rogers and the voice of college football here talking SEC football. It is my honor, it is my privilege every single week to join you guys, and can't thank you enough for everyone joining each and every week. Jet has always been on with the show. Hopefully everybody will come back in. Please invite some more of your friends. Love talking about every SEC team, starting to project out how these teams are going to finish here. And want to say before I sign off, please head over to Twitter, follow Mark Rogers TV if you're not already doing so, the voice of CFB, and of course our site here at Crunch Time VIP. On behalf of everyone here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, my team here at the Crunch Time Sports Advantage Network, guys, have a great rest of your week. Do be safe. And as always, God bless. Enjoy the rest of your college football weekend. Thanks, everybody.